My gosh, this stuff stinks. Ugh. Okay, so I got well, not just this one time, but I have had multiple comments on Milorganite. Do we use it? What do I think of it? Does it any count? What's the deal with it? Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. So this is the first bag of Milorganite I've ever purchased in my life. So it's the first time. I didn't even take the time to read it, didn't research it, didn't do anything. I just swung by Lowe's, grabbed some, and here we are. Happened to be there, and I just happened to remember I got a comment on a video not too long ago about what this is. So, in a nutshell, Milorganite, to my understanding, is nothing but biosolids. And what a biosolid is you go to the bathroom, you do your thing, if you're in the city, out here in the country, we have a septic system, individual septic system. So if you're in the city, that waste, or in a commercial building or whatever, that waste goes into a plant, they process it. And these folks right here in Milwaukee Sewage District had an ingenious idea to take that product, or that waste, and turn it into a preel somehow, and so you put it on your yard. That's my understanding of the way it is made. So looking over the bag here, yeah, Milorganite is one of the nation's oldest, largest recycling efforts. Yeah, so that says they recycle that waste. How many bags to use? Calculate how many bags of Milorganite to use. Bag covers up to 2,500 square feet. FL 6,000 square feet. Maybe, is that Florida? I don't know. I have no idea. Here we go. All right, no, it's got northern rates, 36 pounds. This is a 36 pound bag. Southern rates, 36 per 25. New yards, 72 pounds per 25. So you actually use double the rate for a new yard. Let's see here. Annuals, perennials, roses, veggies. It's got pretty much everything on here. I'm actually surprised that if this is for I'm guessing here northern they're speaking of cool season turf, and southern they're speaking of warm season turf, and I'm surprised these rates aren't different. Application rates, let's see, Florida, MD, that's Maryland, MI is Michigan, I think. 2 times a year at the rate of 36 pounds per 6,000 square feet. So that's over double the coverage you get. Not sure why. Maybe Florida and these other states have some type of rule or something about fertilizer. But in a nutshell, here you go. Derived from biosolids. 4% slowly available nitrogen derived from biosolids. Total nitrogen is a 5. The phosphate in it's a 4. 1.2% calcium and 2.5% iron. I'm sure the iron is probably added after the fact. I'm not sure that if when they go through the process of doing this, whatever it is they do, this manufacturing or whatever they do up there to get it into a preel form, they have to do something, the processing of it or something. I don't know if that's the phosphate and the calcium is a byproduct of that, or if they add it in. I have no clue. I get the nitrogen part. Urine and solid waste, whether it be from an animal or human, has some form of urea in it. which is basically nitrogen, and that's probably where they're coming up with this. So anyway, my take on Milorganite is it's not a true fertilizer. It's and what I mean by that is when we get our fertilizers custom blended, we choose the amount of N, the amount of P, the amount of K that we want to put in it based on the time of the year, what the turf is wanting and all that. And then most bags of fertilizer has a filler in it. You know, let's go back over here. And I'm not sure this is gonna read like a typical bag of fertilizer, but if it does, that means 5% of this bag is nitrogen, 4% of it's phosphate, and so on. And then, well, that don't equal up to the weight that's in here. So something else is in this bag if this is true to a commercial type fertilizer, which I'm unsure of. But let's say you got a 10-10-10, well, that's 10% nitrogen, 10% phosphorus, 10% potash, and so that's 30%. So the other 70% has to be something, right? So typically that's a filler, meaning rocks or sand, or some fertilizer companies will put lime in it as their filler. And we have the access of putting biosolid in as the filler, and a lot of your wholesale places are beginning to do this. At least they are in this area. They will put this in as a filler, so you're getting a little more bang for your buck. So you're actually putting a synthetic nitrogen down along with this organic form. And so that's the way we would use it. We wouldn't just go out and just treat yards with Milorganite. It's just not, to me, it's not strong enough. It's just not a high quality enough for us. It doesn't produce the same results you're going to get if you use this in conjunction with a synthetic. Yeah, I'm real safe and real cautious about the protecting the earth. I am a believer, and in the Bible, God has given us direction to take care of the earth. He's given us instruction to do so. So I take that literally, and I take it very seriously as well, because it's in conjunction with my faith. So we don't saturate the ground with a lot of bad things, synthetic things. So we're mindful of this, but at the same time, I do not believe that you can have a 100% awesome yard with strictly a Milorganite type product. Now, I'm sure if you've done enough of it and you treated your yard enough with it, and the frequency was good, I'm sure you probably can. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it doesn't work for us in our commercial type setting. So I bought this bag, and I'm going to try it out on the test plot. It says 2,500 square feet, so I'm going to go out here and I'm going to measure 2,500 square feet, and I'm going to flag it off, and I'm going to take that spreader right there, and I'm going to put that this 36 pounds of product on 2,500 square feet, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. Here we are, almost mid-November. The ground still got a little temperature in it, so it should activate. But to me, if I were going to do my yard, and I did my yard myself, and you're going to find out this in the GCI Turf Academy, is you're going to have access to some very powerful fertilizers, and probably the best fertilizer I've ever seen in my entire life. You're going to have direct access to that, and you'll use that if you're on that program. But you'll also use Milorganite in conjunction with it. One reason is because it's readily available to you at any of these big box stores. And my take on this overall is I would strictly look at Milorganite as a way to build soil biology. Now this is let's take out the humic acid and the fulvic acids. Let's take all you the commercial guys, take that out, because most of your homeowners aren't going to have access to that, or they're just not going to want to fool with it. So this would probably be the next best thing, is to get that biology rolling and to help unlock some things in the ground that may not be readily available, because it is a organic form, and anytime you put that in the ground, you're helping your soil, you're building the soil, you're stimulating biological activity, the microbes in the ground get the feeding on this stuff, and that in turn just makes for a better, healthier plant, a better, healthier dirt, if you may. And so let's get out there and put this out, and let's see, 1 pound, 3 cups. Okay, that's for your veggies, roses, perennials, annuals. Heck, I may even put some of this on my pansies and just kind of keep an eye on it. You know, you never know what it's actually doing unless you pay attention and you look at what happens a month from after doing it. So, you know, you want to actually see a visible result with it. So I'm expecting this to darken up the 2,500 square foot. I'm also expecting that 2,500 square foot to be a little bit taller in growth than the other grass. And of course, my test plot, I've already put my winterizer application on there. So I won't be doing anything else to it until about mid-February. But the actual yard here, you remember the irrigation tear up on my yard, and we're slowly but surely coming back. And I've been spoon feeding this. And what I mean by spoon feeding is I've been giving it small doses of quick release nitrogen about every week to 2 weeks, just to kind of push it slowly and give it some available nitrogen quickly. So I haven't done any real deep heavy feedings on this. So the winterizer app is still to come. Look at that grass. Man, it's coming in good. Got a couple little spots where I don't know what the heck, I was slit seeding all this, and the daggone slit seeder pulled up a chunk of grass there. No grub worms, so I don't know what happened there. I think I may have had that spot a little too soft from water. But it's coming in, and as part of that winterizer application, I'm gonna put a full rate, I'm gonna put 3/4 of a rate of Milorganite down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bags. So 7 times 2,500 is, what's that, 14? No, that's gonna be about a full rate on a 17,000 square foot yard. So I'm gonna put that down along with the winterizer fertilizer that I have, and we'll kind of, and I know what my yard does every spring. I know what it's supposed to look like based on years of treating it. So I'll be able to look at it and say, yeah, that made a difference, or that didn't make a difference. Now another thing, this stuff's $12 a bag, $13 a bag, at least it is where I bought it. So you know, for my yard it's about $80, and you get far more value out of the Academy fertilizer that we're going to offer. You'll find out a lot about that here pretty soon. So let's get out here and spread this stuff. All right, so you can see I've marked off, there's a point, flag, point, right here. So it's a 2,500 square foot. It's a big chunk of this test plot right here, and I put the square right in the middle because I want to see, I don't want to butt it up against anything else. I want it right in the middle so I can take a glance from the distance and look at this and see if I got a darker color or more growth or whatever. So since I've never put this out before, it's a very fine prill. It's a little teeny tiny prill. What I mean by prill is the size of the granular. You see some of those little teeny tiny. So it's gonna flow out of this spreader really, really good. So I'm gonna come here with my spreader, and just to be safe, I'm gonna drop this thing back down to about number 10 to start. Because the objective is, when you're talking about a rate per, the objective is, you know, they want 2,500 pounds, 36 pounds down on 2,500 square feet. So the objective is to get this amount of product evenly distributed over this entire area. So now I don't know, I haven't calibrated this this product with this spreader. So I'm gonna start off real light on number 10. And if I have to go over it 2 times or whatever, the objective is to put this hopper full of stuff on this section of yard, this square footage of yard, that'll give me an accurate application. Okay, so I had to go over that like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, whatever. But after the first pass, I saw that was going out really slowly, so I bumped it up and went out a little quicker. Now, if we were going to use this a lot, meaning use the Milorganite a lot, we would actually take the time to calibrate this machine or the Permagreens to that product and take note of it. That way we could make a one pass deal. I mean, we go over the area one time and it's a done deal. But I'm just not going to take the time to do that because I don't plan on using Milorganite all that much. So we will see how this does. You can see the test plot is looking really, really good. It looks as good or better than it's ever looked. I attribute that to that rock over there, because you see all my garden hoses hanging up and all my little orbit sprinklers. This isn't irrigated back here, but I had the water coming off the well, and you saw the DIY aeration and seeding video. After I plugged and seeded this area, I watered aggressively with the water hoses and a little timer that I had set up. So we'll check it out. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video in a month, or maybe sometime in January, give this time to kick in. And you know, with it cooling down, there may even be a chance I won't see the results of this until early springtime. It just all depends on soil temperature and how the Milorganite reacts with the ground, and that's got a lot to do with temperature. So hope this helps. And my friend that sent me that last comment about my opinion on Milorganite, hopefully this was informative, and that's just my 2 cents worth on it. Check you later.